Hi, I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Here in Texas. Each Tuesday I like to hop on YouTube. This is only my second time, but I'm making it a goal to hop on and show you how to make one of the cards from my blog. So today we're going to be making the card that was on my blog yesterday. This card uses Nothing's Better Than stamp set and the coordinating die set Love You More Than. So the die set can be found on page 164 of the current catalog, and the stamp set can be found on page 87 of the current catalog, if you would like to take a look at that. I will post a link in the description for all of the products that I'm using today, and you can also head on over to my blog if you want to see the dimensions, and I have some more instructions there if you'd like to see it all written out. So give me just a second to get my camera turned around and we'll get started stamping. Okay, so I have Early Espresso, Real Red, and Memento Tuxedo Black inks. I've got the coffee cups mounted on A blocks. I have two, but you don't have to have two blocks. You can just clean it and switch the stamp out. And then I have the cookies mounted on size B blocks. And the sentiments are on, they're both on one G block. I put one on one side and one on the other side. Ooh, I don't want that to be bendy. There we go. It's pretty straight. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the cookies and the coffee mugs first, because I want to make sure that my ink is good and dry before I run it through the emboss machine. So I have just some scraps of white paper because these are really small and you don't need anything big for this. Although oh, it's right in front of me. That's funny. I was looking all over the place for it. Okay, so let's start by doing the outlines. So I'm going to do the outline of the coffee mug in Tuxedo Black. And then I'm going to do the outline of the cookie in Tuxedo Black also. Okay. So the inside of the coffee mug I want to do in Real Red. I'm going to try to do this without getting my head in the way. I love these clear stamps, so it's really easy to line it up. Okay, so for the inside of the cookie, I'm going to use Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp off once before stamping my cookie. This grid paper is really handy for that. So I'm going to stamp off over there, and I'm going to center it up over the cookie, and look at that, one yummy cookie. Okay, so for now I'm just going to set these aside. And let's go ahead and start putting the base of our card together. So this is a piece of smoky slate cardstock cut to 6 1/4 inches by 6 1/2 inches. This is Real Red cut 6 inches to 3 inches, by 3 inches. And this Designer Series paper, this is Pattern Party Designer Series paper. It's cut to 2 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And this is the Gray Granite ribbon. It's a metallic ribbon. We're going to cut it about 6 1/2 inches. Here's that grid paper coming in handy again. And the trusty paper snips. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by gluing my Designer Series paper to the Real Red cardstock. There we go. Okay, I'm going to use a glue dot, well, a couple of glue dots to attach the ribbon. I have a glue dot attached to me. How did that happen? Okay, so there's one. I'm going to attach the other glue dot to the other side. Then I'm just going to eyeball where I want the ribbon to go. I think right there looks good. Wrap that around the back. And wrap this side around that side. Okay, that's good. Now, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to attach this to the card base. I'm going to go ahead and use that one to hold that down a little. Peel the backs of these off real quick, and I keep a small little mason jar on my desk. I think it's about an 8-ounce jar. Hang on a second, I'll show it to you. Just to put all these little scraps in so I can gather them up during the day, and then when I'm finished stamping, I'll dump them in the trash. See? Super handy. Just making sure I'm doing this the right way. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in a hurry and put my card together upside down. And that is quite frustrating. Okay, so now this should be good and dry. So let's use the Stampin' Cut machine. Stamp Cut and Emboss machine. I need to make a little room here. I'm going to pull this machine over. Making my sandwich, I have the 1, 2, and then I make my sandwich with the 3 plates. So I'm using first a circle from Layering Circles dies, and this is just on a scrap of that gray granite. Then I'm going to use the Love You More Than dies to cut out the coffee cup and the cookie. I'm a little worried about that wiggling around, so I'm just going to do one at a time. Perfection. Now let's do our cookie. Moved. There we go. That came out pretty great too. Put this back to the side. Okay, so now we have these pieces. So next, this is my favorite part. So I'm going to get a scrap of basic black. I'm going to, so Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell embossing buddies anymore, but I've heard that you can use just like a dryer sheet and get the same kind of effect. This is just to keep your emboss powder from sticking all over your cardstock. Versamark ink to stamp both of those, and then I keep my embossing powder in these little containers, that size, or I also use this size. I've already got enough in here. I can just like that. I'm going to tap off, and now this is where the magic happens. I hope you can see it on the camera. Move that. So I'm heating it with the heat tool. Did you see it melt, or at least brighten up a little bit? And I just cut these out with my paper snips. I always say I can't cut a straight line to save my life, and I just proved it again. But it's not too bad. I am going to trim this up a little bit. Just so it's not quite so big. That works. Okay. So now it's just a matter of getting everything put together. So to do that, we're going to need multi-purpose glue and Stampin' Dimensionals. And in fact, I'm going to use normal size Stampin' Dimensionals and some minis. So let's start by attaching the coffee cup to the circle. I'm going to put one up there, one down here, just to make sure it's good and on there. I'm just going to put that in the center, well, a little towards the top, because I decided that instead of putting "Today is a" on the circle, I'm going to put it up in the left-hand corner. I think I'm gonna like that better. What do you think? Do you think it needs to be on the circle, or do you think it needs to be in the upper corner? Or do you think it needs to be somewhere else? There is no right or wrong answer. Whatever you think, that's where it should go. But for this one, I'm gonna put it on the upper left-hand corner. Ooh. When you cut these little mini dimensionals in half, it's kind of hard to get a grip on them. There we go. Okay, so today is a, and then on this one, I'm gonna glue one side of it. Let me actually do this. First, I'm gonna put a dimensional, a mini Stampin' Dimensional on this side. And in fact, I don't know, I'm just going to do this. So Stampin' Up! Also makes black mini and normal size Stampin' Dimensionals, and I keep forgetting that I have those now. I'll have to remember that for the next time. Okay, so that I think is where I want it. And then I'm going to put glue on this side. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to put the circle on as well. I'll go ahead and use 4 of them. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, and then last thing, we're going to put the cookie on. And it can just go right here. There we go. Okay, and so that's our card. Now for the inside, you can get a piece of 3" by 6" basic white paper and just stamp your coffee cup on the inside again, and you're good to go. So swing by my blog if you want more ideas for card making. There's another really cute one from a couple of weeks ago that used the same set. In fact, it used the same pattern paper too, a different sheet. It used this sheet. It turned out really cute, the yellow, the black, and the white. So I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching my video. Happy stamping.